In previous video, I explained a simple technique to paint rock. Now I want to explain more and we want to study more about the rocks. First of all, it's better to choose reference of rocks with easy to distinguish side. Look at the first image. This side is a little hard to distinguish. The angle is changing very fast. But look at this. This side and face is very easily to distinguish. You can easily separate one side from other side. Again, you can see very easily different side of this rock. And also this one. I also recommend select a reference that the big side of the rock is toward you. The final result will look better. You can see that the big side of this rock is toward us. Same as this one and also this one. Next, draw the big shape to form the main shape of the rock. I look at the image as reference on the left, then I try to draw the main line that form the rock. Then add a layer below the drawing and fill it with a base color. Select lasso tools to select around the silhouette. Create a new layer, put it below the main layer and fill it with a base color. It's better to have a custom color palette during the painting. It will help to organize the color much easily. Considering the position of the light source, paint lighter and darker color. Merge color layers and the line layers, then clean up the lines. Break the rock. Imagine you have a hammer in your hand and you break the rock with a heavy hammer. You can think the force that you applied will gradually decrease, so gradually the size of the crack becomes smaller. Paint highlights beside cracks and around the edges. Adding this highlight will emphasize the crack on the rock. To show the texture of the rock, paint over it with a rough brush. I select charcoal pencil. I turn on the transfer, which is off by default. You can play with the minimum temperature to see the results. With a more saturated color, I paint over the rock. Hold Ctrl, then click on the thumbnail of the rock layer, and then in a new layer, which is called noise here, paint over it. You can press Ctrl H to hide the selection. During the paint, I play with the spacing to have more control over the noise. You can change the color blending mode to something maybe lighter. I change it to a screen, for example. You can press and hold tilde key to switch between paint mode and erase mode. Erase the noise so you have a smooth gradient of noise from the edge to the center of the faces. Below the rock layer, paint shadow with a soft brush. Reduce the opacity and then add blur. Painting rock is almost finished, but I want to add 2 more points to help you to paint better rocks. First point is that a single rock is not visually interesting. You need to add more rocks. To have enough shape contrast, you need big, medium, and small rocks. You can see here I have a big, medium, and small rocks. Same thing here. We have a big, medium, and a small size rock. Second point is that don't exaggerate the size of the crack when you start to break the rock. If you exaggerate it, as you can see in the middle one, it doesn't look like a rock. Paint moss over the rocks to make them more believable. Again, I select Ultimate Charcoal Pencil. This is the same brush that we use to add noise on the rock. Play with the spacing and turn on transfer. You can change the minimum temperature by changing the percentage of temperature. Create a custom color palette from the darkest color to the lightest one. Paint over the edge and corner of the rocks. You can see that I try to paint on the edge because this is what most of the time happen in the nature. Using level, hue saturation, or color balance, you can edit the color of the rocks. Painting the rock is finished. I hope you liked this tutorial and please practice to paint rock.